What's up guys, Saulius, I'm back again. So today we're going to be reacting videos about was how evil his every The Walking Dead characters. Every nuts. Yep. This will be part 2. So please subscribe part 1, okay? But next will be part 2. So let's begin. Shall we?
In his brief appearance, Herschel shows genuine compassion. He takes in Lee's group despite the risks, offering food and shelter. When Duck is mistaken for a walker, Herschel doesn't shoot first. He calls out to verify. Even after Sean's death, which he understandably blames on Lee, he doesn't seek violent revenge. He asks them to leave, showing restraint in his grief. Herschel's farm represents an attempt to maintain civility and kindness in the early chaos. Katja, good. As the group's moral center, Katja consistently chooses compassion. A skilled veterinarian, she uses her abilities to help others, like when she treats Duck after his brush with death. She advocates for saving David Travis at the dairy, even when it's risky. Katja's nurturing nature extends beyond her family. She offers emotional support to many, like consoling Clementine about her parents. Her tragic end doesn't negate her inherent goodness, but rather shows how this harsh world can overwhelm even the kindest souls. Kenny. Neutral. Oh, Kenny. He's all over the map, isn't he? One moment, he's fiercely defending his family or backing Lee unconditionally. The next, he's making rash decisions that endanger the group. Kenny's heart is often in the right place. He deeply loves his family and friends. But his method? That's where it gets murky. He'll abandon Sean to save Duck, leave Lily behind after she murders Carly, and push to steal from a seemingly harmless stranger. Kenny's not evil. He's just incredibly pragmatic about protecting his own. His intentions are good, but his actions often veer into questionable territory. Larry. Evil. Larry is a piece of work. Even before the apocalypse, it's hinted he was a harsh, uncompromising man. In this new world, those traits become downright menacing. He's quick to condemn Lee based on his past, even threatening to expose him to the group. When food is scarce, Larry prioritizes himself and Lily, showing little concern for the children. His most chilling moment? Attempting to leave Lee to die in the drugstore despite Lee saving Lily. Larry's not a cannibal or a murderer, but his callousness, prejudice, and willingness to let others die put him firmly in the evil category. Lee.
Mokėvežiai pristato mėnesio top
Yeah, of course,
pasiūlymus.
these
Dabar
ads.
su nuolaidų kortele Gvazdikas
God damn it.
€89, druska vandens filtras.
Lee. Neutral.
Yeah, neutrally.
Now some of you might be surprised to see
Definitely
Lee in
neutral
neutral
Lee, I know,
rather than
man.
good. Here's my thinking. Lee's alignment is largely up to the player. His past, killing a state senator, already puts him in a morally complex space. Throughout the game, Lee can be compassionate, like caring for Clementine, or ruthless, like killing the St. John's in cold blood. He can be honest about his past, or deceptive. Lee's ultimate trajectory depends on our choices. He has the capacity for great good, or significant darkness. Lily, evil. Lily's descent is a tragic one. Initially, she's a strong leader trying to keep the group safe.
We know Lily, and also don't forget, Lily also tried to steal, RV cars because realized she's going to leave the place. He never come back home. Realized he betrayed her, Lee and Kenny, because he did not like it. Why? Because he hated. And yeah, I know, man. Because if you let them die, Larry immediately dies. It still sucks why I don't like Kenny, because he let them die to Larry. I know.
Albeit with a harsh pragmatism. She rations supplies strictly and distrusts newcomers, but it comes from a place of protection. However, her methods become increasingly extreme. She harshly interrogates Ben, turning the group against each other. Then, in a moment of high stress, she murders Carly Doug in cold blood. It's an impulsive act, but she shows no immediate remorse. Later, in Season 4, we see she's fully embraced villainy, brainwashing children for her raider group. Lily's fall from a flawed protector to an outright antagonist is what puts her in the evil tier. Molly. Neutral. Molly is the quintessential survivor, adapting to solo life in Crawford's harsh environment. She's skilled, resourceful, and intensely self-reliant. Molly's not malicious. She doesn't go out of her way to harm others. But she's also not rushing to help. Her philosophy is, look out for number one. She initially uses Lee's group for her own goals in Crawford. Yet she's not without compassion. She saves Lee from a walker, and later opens up about her sister. Molly's neutral alignment comes from her strong self-interest, balanced by occasional acts of kindness. Omid, good. In a grim world, Omid is a ray of sunshine. He maintains his sense of humor and optimism despite the horrors around him. More than that, he's genuinely kind. Omid is quick to trust Lee's group, offering his engineering skills to help. He shows courage, like when he volunteers to cut the tanker down. Throughout, he's a stabilizing presence, often diffusing tensions with a well-timed joke. His gentle nature is most evident in his relationship with Krista. Omid's ability to find light in darkness, without compromising his ethics, makes him a solid good. David, somewhat evil. From 400 Days, David's tale is one of moral erosion. As a former soldier, he initially seems to have a strong ethical code. He's part of the cancer support group, people who banded together to help each other. However, David goes along with Roman's plan to rob other survivors. While he expresses doubts, he doesn't strongly oppose it like Bree does. If he executes Roberto, it shows he's willing to kill to protect his newfound community, even when alternatives exist. David's not a sadist, but his gradual acceptance of ruthless tactics for the greater good nudges him into somewhat evil. Stranger. The Stranger, or Campman, is a study in obsession and manipulation. Yes, his origin story is tragic. Lee's group stole his supplies, indirectly causing his family's death. That loss would make anyone vengeful. But the Stranger takes it to an extreme, stalking the group across multiple states. He doesn't just want revenge, he wants to psychologically torture Lee. Over the radio, he plays mind games with Clementine, exploiting her innocence to turn her against her protectors. When he finally confronts Lee, he attempts to rewrite history, painting himself as a savior. His plan to abduct Clem, to mold her into a replacement for his dead daughter, is deeply disturbing. The Stranger's methodical manipulation and willingness to exploit a child's trauma for his delusional goals? That's devil-tier behavior. Travis, like his teacher David, starts in a good place. He's a high school student trying to navigate this nightmare with his classmates. When Ben's group is attacked, Travis doesn't abandon his injured teacher. Instead, he risks his safety to help David, showing loyalty and compassion.
We know Travis loved, but he died because he's so stupid. I thought you're going to leave. Nope, he's so stupid. Realize you're already too late. This sucks, man. If Travis never dies, she should be alive. It still sucks.
At the motel, Travis doesn't cause trouble. He's portrayed as quiet, perhaps shell-shocked by recent events. His goodness is seen in his initial actions, helping a friend despite danger, and his subsequent peaceful coexistence with Lee's group. Vernon is a tricky one. As a doctor maintaining a cancer support group, his baseline seems good. He offers his medical expertise to help Omid and later performs a C-section on Krista in the comics. Vernon advocates for ethical behavior within his community, opposing Crawford's brutality. So, why somewhat evil? It's his final actions. Vernon takes advantage of Lee's group being in disarray to steal their boat. He knows they're in dire straits, with some injured and a child to protect. Yet he takes their only escape route. Later, it's revealed he lied about being held at gunpoint. Vernon's decision to save his own by dooming another group, one that had previously helped him, pushes him into morally gray territory. Whew, that was a lot to unpack. What strikes me is how The Walking Dead doesn't just present black and white choices. Characters like Kenny or Lily start in one place and end up somewhere very different. It reflects real life, where people are shaped by their toughest moments. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Lee deserves to be in good despite player choices? Is Vernon's medical help enough to keep him out of the evil category? Maybe you see Kenny as chaotic good rather than neutral? Drop your thoughts below. This is what makes The Walking Dead so compelling. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, and I'll meet you in the next video. Also make sure to like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Alright, finally, this was the end. So Taker was over. So this took 20 minutes videos and I made two parts. Okay. So I will say goodbye, Saulius, and see you tomorrow, okay? Have a good night. Peace out. So stay tuned for that. More gameplay, okay?